How long should you stay on your GLP-1? That's going to look different for each and every person that hears this. What I will say is this needs to be an ongoing conversation between you and your doctor where you come up with a plan that you're comfortable with, that they're comfortable with, because it's we there's basically one train of thought where this is something that we use to get the weight off, as and then it's kind of a jump start, and then we go off the medication and we go back to just doing taking actions and habits and really working to reintroduce um, the things that we were trying before as far as an active lifestyle. There's another train of thought where this is great. I'm going to be like, I've lost the weight, I've seen the results, and this is a lifelong medication. And here's the interesting thing: you will see it packaged and positioned both ways. So in some cases, this is viewed as a tool. In some cases, this is viewed as a lifelong commitment by how these things are being packaged and delivered. So your answer is, again, it's going to be largely on what you're comfortable with, and it's going to be based on what you and your doctor decide is best for you. And I think it should be an ongoing conversation. I mean, just like any other medication that you're on, you're having a dialogue about this when you go in. The other thing I think is, getting your blood work checked regularly. Whatever, so that's a whole other thing too, right? Like you can have the panels that are pretty standard. You can also go to different labs, different companies do stuff that, again, it's something that you're comfortable with, and then also it's something that you talk to your doctor about too. On like, hey, I'm wanting to test for this, and this is why. What would this be like, right? Like, is this something that I should add to it? Yeah. The I I will my thought, because I think regardless of if you're staying on the medications or you're thinking that you're going to be off of them, I think you do have to look at things differently when it comes to your approach with your thought process, your actions, your habits, your cues, right? Because for so many of you that are listening to this, um, the whole dynamic with food, the food noise, and just thoughts, feelings, and how this you navigate this each and every day is different, and that can be very overwhelming too when you're trying to, yeah, I mean, you're trying to figure out a new approach to eating. And for a lot of this time that you've been doing this, I'm talking like for maybe most of your life, the goal was, well, I want to figure out how to eat so I can lose weight. You're losing the weight. Now, how do you eat to take care of yourself? Like it looks different. And, there's going to be a lot of people that tell you, especially in the fitness space online, they'll start wagging their finger at you. Well, you need to do it like this. You need to do it like that. You need to figure out a way that you can introduce it that's best for you. And I talk to you guys as a fitness professional and a marketing and advertising professional as well. I'm not a medical professional. I always say talk to your doctor about this. As a matter of fact, a lot of stuff that I see, I feel like a lot of what I say when it comes to talking about GLP-1s and it is just, and all the weight loss medication is just, please work with your doctor, because there's so much out there to navigate, and there's so much of people telling you what you should do. And I mentioned, like, even the use of the medication itself is being marketed in two extremely different ways, like two opposite ends of the spectrum, two extremes. This is something that you're going to use as a boost. You're finally going to lose the weight. And then, like, this is a lifelong medication. And it's like, well, where do I fall in between that? Right. And it really does come down to what you're comfortable with. But regardless if you're on the medication or not, going to have to figure out a new approach, and you're going to have to be patient with yourself on this, because one, not only are you trying to not approach this stuff the way that you did before, you're really operating from a complete blank slate, because you don't even have the cues and the sensation that you would have had before to actually navigate this stuff. And I do a lot of episodes on this. As a matter of fact, I have a completely different podcast that is just solely on food noise. And you guys see the videos. If you're watching it on YouTube, you see those videos because I upload them here to the channel as well. But, you know, from a marketing standpoint, I think it's always good when something can be given a name. And I'm not saying that I always say this, that the term food noise was probably not coined by those involved with marketing the medications, but they lean into it. And what marketing is really good at doing is identifying something, usually identifying a problem. So food noise, there are elements to it that you actually want. And if you want to look at it from another term, just the cues and thoughts and feelings that you have around food that can actually make you want to eat. You know, and one thing I will say, because if we're talking about you coming off of the medication, do you just stop right away, or do you just gradually come off of it? Again, that is a conversation that you have with your doctor. To me, though, coming right off of it, unless you and your doctor talk about it and you're like, hey, this is what we need to do, then great. But like without any context, to me, like it is a literal start and stop, which is something that so many people struggle with when it comes to fitness and weight loss anyways, starting and stopping and restarting. But I just hope by having conversations about this, having thoughts about, like, I hope that the conversations are happening. I hope that you're taking all this in and figuring out what works best for you. And you got to watch out for what's influencing, because there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of benefit for people getting you to go one direction or another when it comes to weight loss on the medications, weight loss in general. But like the way that this is all positioned now, it's a very, I'll tell you, as a marketer and a fitness person, like it's just fascinating to kind of watch where the industry is going, because now it's not even about losing the weight. It's like, how can we manage this? And I know a lot of people are apprehensive about it, because it's like, oh my gosh, I got the results that I never thought I was going to get. Now, how do I keep them? You know, but just take your time with this. Lead with kindness and compassion towards yourself. And again, when we talk about doing this stuff for life, I think you're going to need structure. I think you're going to need habits and routines. And I think you're going to need to redefine the relationship that you have, not only with food and weight loss, but yourself. And yes, that is where the inside out approach of Your Level Fitness comes in. So definitely check that out. It's yourlevelfitness.com. You can head over there. You can check out the framework for doing this. There's all kinds of resources there for you to be able to do this on your own. So definitely check that out. But that is what I have for you. So thank you as always for listening and watching, and I'll talk to you again real soon.